technologies is today is very much advanced. As you said, like since I was a stuntman, um, my stunt coordinator was before like Kanal Master, and there are many seniors, fight master we call. Now, it's since I was a young guy, I was so crazy. Like they asked me to jump, like from the building, like just a crash box, without thinking anything, just standing on the edge and waiting for his call to say action. Then I just need to jump down, and with our safety, we have been trained to be landed in a safe way. Like that kind, there are lots of, if you say in my period, like 93, I was a very mischievous guy as a stuntman, and I used to come up with a lot of ideas like master, why don't we take a bike and jump across and go straight, hit the rocks, and it is like 100 feet above the bridge and it's a dam. So like that kind of crazy things I used to think. And as everybody knows, I broke 49 bones if I counted correctly. And my last heavy accident was with Maghadheera, and I broke 19 bones inside. It is all because of we don't have a proper technology at that time, and lots of our producers and directors, they have a lot of dreams and visions, we see foreign films, and they see some Matrix films, and they said that we want this type of films, action. So which I also very curiously I researched a lot of things, and learning from YouTubes and all these things helps me a lot, because instead of spending money to go to abroad and learn things, I used to after work just sit and go through what are the latest technologies and get into their website, and then finding things. But sometimes our productions house, which they are not able to afford to bring them down here. So what I do is what are the best things that we get the same thing, because whatever technology you do, it's just like an illusion. It's that screen, the camera that captures these things, and that is what you get. So no matter how much technology you do, it is what is on the screen and what you compose things, and that is what. So what I do is I try to find, my recent film, Bahubaali. We are supposed to fly a camera of 110 feet high, and we need to come down to the the chariot of Rana. So for that I need to judge. What I do is I just do an iron cable of 12 mm, and I put a camera on top of that, and I put an extra cable below that will be just an open Omni van, which is related to the wire which I designed it to call as a web connect. So it's like a circle. So wherever my vehicle goes, the camera from on top it goes, and it slides down. It slides down, goes up, and then it changes the cable like a cross to right. So the camera will follow, wherever my vehicle goes, the camera will follow. So we get exact, and the only thing is you need to imagine it, how that's it. You need to imagine it, what will come on the screen, and many people won't know. They just know, they just see the camera, they see the chariot, and they see these hundreds of people or 200 people are running together. But you need to visualize, and then you need to come out this will come in the frame, in the screen, this is what it is. So that can I cheat things, learning from abroad, and the only things I copy, I learn from people is today the bowl is the fastest. They have designed it in a very fast, which is it goes to 70 kilometers per hour. That fast. Established in a short distance. If many of us could have known. If you take a bottle, often you just throw the bottle where the camera is above you, above the bottle. And then when you throw the bottle down, the camera will go advance the bottle, and it captured the breaking moment before it breaks. So that fast, that technology is called the bowl. But the thing is, it has a limit. It has a kind of 30 feet, which is with a track, which before we used to use as Milo. But Milo goes very slow. It is 10 kilometer speed, which is the maximum that it can go. But here it goes 70 kilometer speed, and in a short distance. So what I do is, okay, if it is the ball goes in 30 feet distance, so why don't I go like 150, no, sorry, in this one we use as 600 feet, and I need to go 70 kilometers. What I do is, I connected the camera to the cable, which is, I drew 80 kilometer speed in the truck, which the camera comes along with that. But the only thing is, you need to stabilize. So experience, once you put, so to stabilize that, what I do is, they have, today we call is gimbal, which is, it has a very technology where gimbal thing. So to do the gimbal, basically I went and researched the gimbal, which it has a magnetic, which it controls the thing, which is in the end of time. What I did is, I put a weight under it because there's a gravity. So what happened is, I put the extra weight of the cameras totally below the thing so that it's stable, it's stabilized. So instead of gimbal, we made just a crane weight to get the same gimbal effect. So what we do is, we travel the vehicle, and I ask the chariot runner to go as speed as they can, and I go in advance of them, and from the whole chariot, thousands of people are running, and we go full speed, and we came close to runner's face, which is it's supposed to be a bowl, but the bowl can go only 30 feet distance, but we go of 600 feet distance. It's the same studio which we did here. So I'm very much curious, and many directors says that Peter Hein, he's not only the fight master, he's in engineering, and but the good thing is, I really thank technologies that today has come. Many of our artists that jump from on top, today we can make a real artist to jump, if it is 100 feet height, and any artist, today nowadays artists are very competitive, they want to do on their own, they don't like, because replacing face and all these things, a stuntman that does. So it doesn't come properly sometimes, because the head and the camera movement, you don't get Milo to get exact figures. So for that, sometimes some directors, action directors, they are a little carelessness, because they don't mind that when the head shakes. So audience today, we make 2 films, 3 films in a year of big films, but the audience, they see 100 films in a year, so they have more knowledge than what we are about films. So for that, many actors, they want to do live on their own. Examples, my recent film before my direction start, I worked with Hrithik Roshan, which is Kabil, and I really liked him so much that he does things on his own, he falls, he gets hurts every time. Many people think okay, what he's doing and why he's getting hurt, but the fact is, they get really into the the emotional way, and out of that reaction and out of new technologies that come, he slips and falls to the rod, the iron rod. We make iron rod in CG, we create CG that rod, but the artist has to perform, he has to fall really, and you see the rod. So what I'm saying is, technology is not only the thing that developed this industry, it is also the people that how they, as a director, makeup and art director. Even me also, I've learned so much, and I really don't like action because it is artificial. One day or 1 month, how much time only we'll go for fight and actions, and going outside seeing 10 rowdies, goons, guys there, we fight with them. It doesn't come in real life. It is very rare. And I need to do that fight again and again since I was stuntman, and then up to date, I've been doing that with 2 hands and 2 legs. Nothing else difference we do. That is what I always like to choose, the directors comes out with a good concept, which is emotional actions, that is always the best. So I choose films, whether it's by God grace has given me a very good opportunity. I choose films to do, and there are many directors who really love, Peter Hein is valued for technologies. If you talk about in South Side, I know, but in technologies, I've learned so much about technologies, and it helps me a lot because technologies give me it's just like you know, you cheat people a lot, but actually when you combine, club everything together, and like in Maghadheera we did a bridge, and actually it is just only a platform, and it is hardly 5 feet high, and we made that as a bridge, and hundreds of people. But the good thing is the concept that the directors has come up with. So as an action director, I need to make sure that, like, you know, okay, people has to fall that, but 5 feet, how can we believe, like, you know, people fall? So we have to do green mat, we make people fall, from here they fall live, but we sustain them, and then we make him keep on, like, you know, he's moving as if he's going down. But actually the camera, but what we'll do is we reduce his size and we'll make sure that he goes down. And if it is in a single shot, he'll be, like, you know, for the moment, he hit himself and he rolls. So this might be, there's rocks down there and he's falling in a single shot, like, you know, off the depth. So like that can, as we said, like, you know, all the people who experience, which is, I'm also a little bit of that. Technologies is very much advanced, and only thing is you need to trust, you need to dream, like, you know, whenever the director narrates me the story, I have a very bad habit, like, you know, I don't wink my eyes, I just look like that, and then, like, you know, they said, Master, do you understand what I'm trying to say? Which is, the truth is, you need to feel it, you need to, like, you know, when the director, he will narrate once, and if you can see the picture in the, like, you know, whenever he says, and you think about that, and then you start doing your homework when you record the thing. So combined together with technologies, I never been to school, so it's not a shame of me saying that. I work in my own way of, like, you know, experience that I've been, and I've learned a lot of things from great peoples. I've learned a lot of things from, you know, the Hollywood things, and I'm little very stubborn guy, and I'll make sure I get what I want. And the good thing is, to say means we club things together. Like, I ask artists to do their real training, and like, you know, the stuntman has to do, like, you know, the real things, which safety is there. So doing all these things, and today we put real raw materials, mixing, composing in that, which is safe thing, which is in abroad they have been doing it before me being a stuntman. But in India today, advanced, like, you know, many of our film directors and big companies, they call people from abroad, as you were saying about the makeup now. But what I feel is, whatever people call from abroad, it is the Indian stuntmen who do all the stunts, because foreign guys doesn't do it on the screen. It is only Indian stunt guys do it. But the good thing is, like, you know, I understand that I need to learn more things, like, you know, and as you said, we don't get support from our own producers and directors. But if it is a foreign fight master comes, what they require, like, you know, what they require, they get everything what they want. But here, as an Indian, I can prove myself today, like, you know, I can do a job like any other stunt choreographers in Hollywood they does, until and unless we get what we want. So that is what a very big drawback here today in our industry. And I've been trying to do my best. If you say my past from the beginning, like, I did Anniyaan, and they did a lot of CG work, like, you know, a CG, like, you know, a matrix film, like, you know, there are hundreds of people are flying. So I did the same thing without CG. I made in one time 48 stuntman flies, and to do that, what support I have, like, you know, I don't have any support. So we pulled with, like, you know, lorry, we put 2 lorries, and with all these ropes in the studio, and actions, like, you know, the Vikram, like, you know, he hit people and they all flies, and we use with 120 cameras, with the still cameras, the same technology which they've done in abroad, time slice. But what happened is, it is arrangement. It is not only the cameras that they do. See, the camera, they go around. So what I do is, I made the camera to go, like, you know, 180. And, you know, they said that it is very difficult to go 180 because you need to clean. And, you know, every camera, you need to clean. But I said, yeah, but whatever the other camera, you clean 60% and 40% is there. So now you clean 100% because every camera comes into the frame and every stuntman. But for that, we just did one shot and it works. like examples, I'm so proud of myself saying that I'm okay. When they did Matrix, then they did Matrix Revolution, Matrix Reloaded, and then Matrix. When I did a movie called New with Mahesh Babu and director Surya, so what I did is with a compressor, compressor, I just hit the face in a high speed with a just normal camera of Arri 3, which is 140 frames. And in that, I made the compressor to go through, it is raining. So when the time hit, and it went, the air that diverts the rain, the rain drops, and it goes straight to the artist's face. Before the hand could hit, I gave a real build-up that this guy goes fast. And when here I slow down, you can see the face ripple and the water, the rain drops is spread, which I did this 14 years ago. 15 years ago, when I just became a stunt guy. So like that, then after that only the Matrix Reloaded and Matrix Revolution came. That is after 3 years that movie came. Which is, I did that, but they, in abroad they did it something great. But the idea what I came out was, I came before that films 3 years ago. So what happened is, we Indian technicians, we also have a lot of ideas, but the only thing is we don't have technologies, and producers doesn't have much to spend for that. So what I'm saying is, today I'm facing a lot of problems, but the truth is we just have some 10% of technology, but we are trying to prove as an international standard all our movies are going well in abroad. So I'm quite happy, but there are lots of things for me in my mind which presently I was not prepared to say, because I was directing my film in abroad, and last night I came here and I spoke to him, so what are we going to talk about? But he said, I also don't know. But the only thing is, I'm speaking just 5 minutes or 10 minutes, but I'm speaking out of my 22 years experience which I had all these years, and I'm telling it out in a very short thing. And I understand sometimes I'm blabbering, but the good thing is we are so proud of ourselves that today we are sitting here and we are talking about technologies which all over the world, and we have been proven in our Indian cinema. So I'm so happy, and there is much, but I don't think so we have so much
we need to I've been given a warning now that we'll throw you out of here. You just told me that. So thank you for all your experiences. And see, what I'm gathering from all three of you is that I don't think we lack the talent to deliver anything that's being done abroad. And I partially disagree with you on the resource.